You are watching Channel Adrian TV.
Yo YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another video. But before we get started, y'all know what y'all need to do. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the videos. Also follow me on Rumble where I post, and also follow the Room 1031 channel that I do with Maurice. And if you have any video you want me to react to, sports, the dynamics between men and women, or an Ask Adrian question about your own personal life, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can hit me up on social media and DM me. My social media links will be pinned in the description. Now from this title, you can see we're going to watch a video about a woman talking about she doesn't understand how women can have a relationship to a man they're not attracted to. Now I know some people are going to say relationships are more than attraction, but what she explains in the video is what I've always said. Yeah, you can have a relationship with someone you're not attracted to, and it could be a healthy relationship, but that doesn't guarantee success of that relationship, because every relationship has a peak. And men, ask your homegirls this. If your homegirls are really cool with you and respect you, they will tell you the truth when it comes to this. All women understand that relationships have a peak. That's one of the many reasons why I believe women have better sense when it comes to dating, especially when they decide to finally settle down. It's because women understand our relationship has a peak. So at that point, it's got to be what's the best I have to gain. And I know that may be harsh, but that's just the truth of the matter. And the gain may not only be monetary, it could be protection. But I don't want to get so much into the examples yet. I'm going to play the video, read some comments. Then I'm also going to discuss why men, if you are not her type, not only is it going to lessen the peak of your relationship, you do have to be wary, because if her type does come along, you could lose her.
Marrying a man that you're not attracted to will forever be weird. Like, what do you mentally have to do to yourself to do that? Like, what lies do you have to tell yourself? What liquor do you have to drink? What drugs do you have to be on? Like, I don't understand how you can do it. Right? It's very strange to me how you can go through with that. Stand at the altar, look that ugly thing in his face, and say vows, knowing that you don't truly like the way he looks. Like, a lot of y'all, I done said it before. You be mad all the time. You be having an attitude with this man all the time. And all of it is because you don't like the way he look. Right? But the lies you done told to yourself, you won't admit it to yourself that the reason why you just got such a short temper with him is because you don't find him attractive. Right? The reason why he be asking for sex from you and you don't want to do it is because you don't like him. Right? You be coming up with all this bogus stuff that don't be making sense, when the truth of the matter is you just don't like him. Right? And it ain't even no less weird than the men who went on the podcast talking about they can only be around their wives or girlfriends for like 3 to 4 days on vacation. You're weird. Why would you be in a relationship with somebody that you can't tolerate being around? You married them for the wrong reason, right? Obviously, you with them maybe because of their looks, but their personality sucks. But neither one of y'all ain't no better than the other. A man marrying a woman that he not really into just because she look good on his arm, a woman marrying a man who ugly but he treat her good, neither one of those are going to get you good results, because the truth will come out eventually. Right? You not wanting to be around her being annoying, you being annoyed at the fact he ugly. None of that works. None of that works. And clearly y'all see that it don't be working, because that's why y'all marriages ain't lasting.
Before I even start, kudos to her for actually being honest, because this is what I mean. Now, I know some people say, Adrian, relationships are more than looks. Looks play a major part in the sexual chemistry. I don't care what anyone says. This is why I say, men, ask your homegirls this. If they're not attracted to the guy, is it going to kill the chemistry? If the woman respects you, I'm going to be honest, she's going to say yes. And the reason it affects the chemistry is because they're not sexually attracted to them. It doesn't mean the relationship is healthy. It does not mean that they don't like the way they're treated. Doesn't mean they don't like the way they're courted. But the chemistry aspect, it's always going to be off. For example, I'm honest about this. I don't lie, because I think in dating you should lead with integrity, but let's keep it above. Most men and women aren't going to lead with integrity when it comes to dating, because it's really survival of the fittest, and I get that. So I don't expect people to have integrity when it comes to dating. What have I always said on this channel? If a woman becomes obese, because she doesn't work out and diet, I will leave her. Now, number one, I'm not attracted to women who are obese, so I would never date women who are obese. But let's say we get into a serious relationship, have kids, and she becomes obese, I will leave her. Now, if she had a serious health condition, like cerebral palsy or something out of the blue that comes out like that, yes. But I don't care if it's minor. All you just gotta do is watch what you eat, calorie count, and exercise. The everyday diseases that a lot of people have. On YouTube, you see those same people in shape because they have to focus harder on their workout, focus more on their diet, and be more disciplined. And the main reason I'll leave is because the sexual chemistry will be off because I'm not attracted to that. And that's what she's speaking to. Now, this is why I don't think men should, honestly, I don't think men or women should get into a long-term relationship with someone they don't find attractive or their so-called type. Now, I know when you hear that, most people will say, well, if your type isn't dating you, you need to go after a different type. Yes, for your own happiness, yes. But what about the person's happiness that you're going to be with? If you're not attracted to them, it's going to kill the sexual chemistry. There have been multiple women who told me either verbatim or phrase it in a way to where I knew what they were saying. They said to me, Adrian, if my husband stayed in shape and worked out like you do, he wouldn't have to beg for sex. I even had a grown woman who watched my content and she pulled me aside and said, Adrian, you're right. She said she only has sex with her husband once a month and she hates it. Think about that. And that's why I say, if you're not attracted to your partner, you shouldn't be getting into a relationship with them. Now, if you're going to lead with integrity in dating and you let them know that from the jump, then that's their decision and their choice. You may be watching this like, well, Adrian, what's a big deal? Why does that matter? In my personal opinion, if you're not that open and honest about that, you're building a relationship and family off a lie. And and in a recent video I just did, I said, if you don't have that structure and foundation at the very beginning, in other words, being complete and transparent, it's never going to work out. Now, I've had women who I've dated and they told me I wasn't their ideal type, so I left it alone. But after years passed, some of them trying to come back to me, but I curved it because I understood what that meant. For lack of a better term, that meant that they weren't as sexually attracted to me or I wasn't their number one option. I don't take offense to that. But see, at least I knew. A lot of them didn't tell me. I could just tell from context clues. So I knew not to get into a serious relationship. One commenter said, I know, right? I'm sorry, but I can't marry just for money. I literally have to be attracted to that person or I'll get grossed out. That is literally what a woman told me who is married. She said it feels like a chore when she has sex with her husband because she's not attracted to him. Think about that. Now, who would want to be in a situation like that? That's why I say if you are open and honest about that, it's no longer your fault because you let the person dating know that, hey, I'm not really attracted to you. So in other words, what you're saying is, I'm not attracted to you. I just like the way you treat me. That's pretty much what you're saying. Another commenter said, they do it for the money and lifestyle. I could never. I need to be with a man I can't keep my hands off of. I'll finance my own lifestyle. That goes with the sexual chemistry because when you say chemistry, a lot of it is just based off looks. You may be saying, Adrian, what are you saying? Because how someone treats you deal with chemistry. Yes, but what gets you through the door is the looks. That's why when women say he wasn't really my type, it's because your type wasn't treating you and courting you like that. So you had to go down in looks to get that type of courtship. And this is why I love social media, because when women are actually honest and open and not deflecting and gaslighting, women like this, these are the women I respect because they're actually telling you the truth. And I know you may be saying, well, Adrian, you're just saying that because they're agreeing with what you're saying. Look, I'm the type of person, I just want the right answer. I don't care about being right. That's the difference between me and the majority of people. Majority of people care about being right. I just want the right answer. Another commenter said, right, why waste his time? He could be with someone that actually likes him. And that goes to my point of having integrity with dating and being open and honest in dating. That's the whole point. Because if you really love and care for someone, where's the respect factor? You should tell them. And another commenter said, I believe it's common. And one of the reasons some women aren't in the mood for their husbands, they're not attracted to them. Everybody gets tired. That's not an excuse a lot of the time. There you go. You hit it on the head. because once the relationship peaks, as I said, all relationship has a peak, and women know that. That's why when they're young and dating, that's why men who they're not physically attracted to, they don't get the time of day, because that relationship already peaked. They don't even know them because there's no sexual chemistry, no type of draw of attraction. And remember the example I used earlier? A woman told me that, a married woman told me that exact same thing. This is why, man, I know a lot of you say women like dad bods and men with titties. This is why I say, men, you should work out, because even if it doesn't work out, because you can still get cheated on, or the relationship can still fail if you're in shape. But since you're in shape, it's easier to get into another relationship. I don't have any stats, but I'm sure if most people will want the person in shape or the person out of shape, the majority of people will want the person in shape, especially if you have kids, to set a good example. And I know men can do this to women as well. I still think men who do this, just like women, I think they're a coward, and I think they're weak, and I think they're pathetic. Now, if you are open and honest with it, I'm cool, because as long as you're open and honest and lead with that type of integrity in dating, you can't get mad at that. So y'all, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Do you think you should be in a relationship with someone you're not attracted to? Me personally, I don't. I'll see you in the next video.